Now, I had this one old cat. My cell, I was in the cell by myself, and he just came from the hole. He was arguing with a guard, old school. He come into my cell, all he had was a box and a typewriter. And all he used to do was law work, and he used to do these crossword puzzles all the time on the top bunk. And one day, I walked in the cell from the yard, and he was like, "How many minutes, youngin'? You know, how many minutes was it?" I ain't paying him no attention. He was doing life. But you'll never think he was doing life because he was just a solid OG, just mind his business. And I said, "Minutes? I'm at the sink washing my hands. I just coming from the yard." He said, "How many minutes, man?" I said, I give you like 3, 4. I said, "Minutes for what?" I don't know what the fuck. You know, this is OG. I don't know what he talking about, but it's coming off deep. He said, "How many minutes did it take?" You know what I mean? You to get your residency here. I said, "What you mean, man? Fucking residency." I don't know. He said, How many minutes did you take to earn this to stay? You stay. What is you talking about? Minutes. So he said, you got your law? I said, "Yeah, I got my law work." I'm like, "Man." He said, "Let me show you something. So I go. He said, "Where your case?" I show him my case. He said, "Okay. You see these two?" He said, "This the police report, and this the police report." Took both of my police reports, and he said, "Okay. You robbed the joint at this time? They say you was in there for that long? Or you robbed this joint for this time? They say you was in there that long." He said, "That's like, each of them is like 2.5. Altogether, that's like 5 minutes, man." He said, 5 minutes got you 20 years in prison? He said, 5 minutes. He said, 5 minutes. He said, "Man, and that's long." He said, "That's a long time." He said, "If you would have shot somebody, it'd have been like 1 minute. You probably could have lost your life for 1 minute." Because he said, "Mine ain't take that long." You see what I'm saying? He said, "I stabbed the motherfucker, man. It wasn't even no, I don't know how long it was. It wasn't no minute." He said, "I stabbed the motherfucker a couple of times. He checked out. Wasn't even no minute, but 5 minutes." So I said, "Damn," he jumped back on the bed, kept doing his crossword puzzles. And it fucked me up for a while because I'm like, damn, I gave my life for 5 minutes. And I'm saying it to say to y'all, like, you'll be sitting up in the cell for the rest of your life about one move that lasted a minute. It only take 1 minute to shoot a gun.
Steve.
I'm take 1 minute. So I'm saying that I did 20 years in the joint for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is some bullshit. Could change your whole life forever. And like, if you out there, I'm gonna just say this to the people that want to hear it. Because you got a lot of dudes out there, y'all real. This ain't for you because you probably don't want to hear this shit. OG tripping. But for those that's not sure about the direction you want to go and you loving your life and you just like, you feel as though you got to be making some moves or doing some shit that's outside of yourself in order to be accepted with whoever you dealing with right now, I'm talking to you. It's 5 minutes versus your life? 1 minute? Is it worth? If it is, that's your thing. But if it ain't, you got to reroute. You got to restructure your whole route, whatever direction you going on, and get the fuck away from the people that you're around that got you thinking you got to be a real nigga in order to win. Being a real nigga is getting out there getting your education. Because I'm going to tell you something. For all the things, money I took, whatever I took, and you got a lot of cats out here, I ain't working at no motherfucking McDonald's. I ain't working here. I ain't working there. But what fucked me up is when I seen kingpins and dudes that used to run neighborhoods wiping the table in the kitchen for 30 cents an hour. But you got a lot of dudes out here, I got to hustle. They ain't giving me enough money. But you'll go to jail and work your fucking ass off in the kitchen trying to steal some green peppers and onions and shit and sell them.
Talk to 'em.
Or some white gold, that's sugar. You know what I mean? Just to sell it. You know what I mean? That's white gold. You know what I'm saying? You in there trying to sling and bang with that shit, but you couldn't do this. Everybody too cool. Right. And then now we living in a time, motherfuckers got Hollywood, the PUA came, now everybody done capped so much that he can't go back there living real life no more. Everybody got on Instagram, I got money, I'm the shit, I'm this, I'm that, I'm on a yacht in Miami. To now, they can't even go back to the jobs they had because they didn't shit on their employers. They didn't cap so much. Now everybody hiding now. They in the cut like, I ain't going. They grams to slow down and nobody want to work.